मुझे ये भी देखना है कि कितने व्यूअर्स हैं, नंबर ऑफ व्यूअर्स. ओके, आर वी लाइव? ओके. Hello everybody, welcome back to PW IELTS and TOEFL Prep. My name is Vandana and this is your favorite Zero to Hero 2.0 series. It's been a while guys, how have you been? क्या हाल चाल हैं आप लोगों के? Okay, those of you who are here already with me, very good evening everybody. I hope you are doing great. And now let's get started. Today we are going to dive deep into the listening module. We'll be covering the overview of listening and we'll be practicing 20 questions of listening in today's session. That means we are going to cover the part 1 and the second part of listening module. That means we are starting from scratch and diving deep into great details. So here we go. Let's get the ball rolling. So this is what we have on the agenda. We are going to cover the very first thing, scratch, like I said, the overview of listening. Then we are going to talk about some very important tips and strategies which are super helpful for you to get a high score. And after that, we are going to cover this first and second part of listening module, 10 questions each. That means a total of 20 questions. Yes, scratch मतलब हम बिल्कुल beginning से start कर रहे हैं listening and starting से start करेंगे, एक एक चीज समझेंगे. So we are gonna start from the scratch का मतलब है कि बिल्कुल scratch as in बिल्कुल beginning से start करके हम ऊपर तक details cover करेंगे, ठीक है? Hello Anuj, I am doing very well. What about you guys? Very good evening, guys. And thank you for joining me here. Let's get the ball rolling. Like I said, let's talk about the overview. Now, the very first thing is about duration. Let's understand quickly. I'll be covering all these pointers within 5 minutes and then we'll start with the real thing. Okay. Now, the duration of the listening module is going to be roughly 30 minutes. Roughly 30 minutes means it can be 28 minutes also, it can be 32 minutes also. And after this 30-minute audio gets over, so for 30 long minutes, you are gonna listen to an audio and of course write down the answers. But after this audio gets over, it depends whether you have taken the paper-based test or computer-based test. Hi guys. Is that, how should I pronounce your name? Is it like Jannat? Correct me if I'm wrong. If it's Jannat, it's a beautiful name. Yes, I think I responded. Okay, so I was talking about the time difference. Now, once the audio gets over, I'm doing very well. Thank you very much. बहुत अच्छी हूँ मैं, guys. आप लोग कैसे हो? Tell me about yourself also. I'm coming live after about a gap of 2 weeks, so it's been a while. Let me know how were these 2 weeks for you. Okay, coming back to this thing, PBT and CBT. Once the audio gets over, it depends whether you are taking the paper-based test or computer-based test. Whoever is blowing these hearts, thank you very much. Let's come back here. So if you have taken a paper-based test, you will be given 10 minutes extra. And if you have taken computer-based test, you will be given 2 minutes extra. ऐसा क्यों? Why this discrepancy? इतनी बड़ी चीटिंग क्यों कि यहाँ पे 10 मिनट वहाँ पे 2 मिनट? Oh my God, ये तो बहुत ही खराब बात है, नहीं? Okay, you are fine. That's very nice to know. खराब बात नहीं है. Let's understand why 10-minute and 2-minute difference. So what happens in paper-based is that when the audio is going on, you have to write your answers on the question booklet, and later on, it is expected of you to transfer those answers from the question booklet to the fair answer sheet in neat handwriting and in correct spellings, right? And for that transferring of answers, you are given 10 minutes extra for the paper-based test. So that's why we call this 10-minute the transfer time. However, in the case of CBT, you are given just 2 minutes extra because आपको कहीं पे transfer ही नहीं करना है ना. कहानी खत्म, मुद्दा ही खत्म, आपको transfer ही नहीं करने answers. You straight away type on screen and खत्म कहानी. So why exactly 2 minutes? 2 minutes are given for you to review your answers, ताकि आप review कर सको अपने answers. Review as in अगर आपको कुछ spellings change करने हैं या कोई word change करना है, उसके लिए आपको 2 minute दिए जाते हैं. देखो, as far as making notes is concerned, final exam on June 27. Absolutely. My best wishes to you, Janat. I hope you get a very, very good score. And when you do that, when you get your score, please come here and let us know. Okay. And Anat says, should I make notes? देखो, as far as making notes is concerned, आपको ना ये देखना है, इज इट वर्किंग फॉर मी और नॉट. आई विल टेल यू 100 स्ट्रैटेजीज. मैं तो 100 चीजें बता दूंगी आपको. आपको देखना है वो चीज आपके लिए काम कर रही है कि नहीं. लेट मी एग्जाम्पलीफाई. अ लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स मेक नोट्स बट देन दे डिविएट. वो ऑफ ट्रैक चले जाते हैं. बट आई व्हेन आई मेक नोट्स आई डोंट डिविएट. those notes help me a lot, especially in MCQs. And there are a lot of other students of mine who like to make notes, and they are able to get good answers because of that. So number one, check if the strategy is working for you or not. Number one. Number two, I wouldn't recommend making notes for all 40 answers. सारे के सारे आंसर्स के लिए नोट्स नहीं बनाए जाते हैं. ठीक है. जहां पे आपको डाउट है ना, जहां पे आपको लग रहा है स्पीड बहुत ज्यादा है, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन पे बढ़ जाएगा स्पीकर, वहां पे जो जो सुनाई दे रहा है लिख लो, and बाद में you come and see what the answer can be. I hope that help. Hi Bhavya, it's been a while. How are you? Oh, wow. How did it go? How was your speaking test, Bhavya? And please let us know the questions also. क्या-क्या questions पूछे गए आपसे? I will definitely pray for you. Not only for you, Jannat, I will pray for everybody who is here, all 13 of you, that you get your desired score and you move to the country of your dreams and live your dream life. Honestly, I'm going to pray for all 13 of you, sending positive vibes already. Okay, so MBBS foreign also need IELTS. Yes, it does. It does. And hi Vishal, how are you? चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. All right, so number of parts. A total number of 4 parts are going to be there in the listening module, and each part contains 10 questions. तो total कितने questions आपको answer करने होंगे? 40. You will get a total number of 40 questions, guys, which you will have to answer in a span of 30 minutes. Is there any negative marking? Not at all. And because there is no negative marking, you should not leave any blank. आपको कोई भी blank नहीं छोड़ना चाहिए. आपको सारे answers attempt करने चाहिए. आपको अपनी एक छोटी सी personal story बताती हूँ. I took the IELTS exam in 2023. ठीक है. अगर आप लोग interested नहीं हो मेरी story में तो post कर देना. मैं आगे बढ़ जाऊंगी. I will skip my story. But अगर आप interested हो तो here it goes. When I took the exam in 2023, I had this mental target that I was already an IELTS coach back then. So I had this mental target कि भाई मुझे तो 9 बैंड ही चाहिए. मेरे लिए 9 से कम तो काम ही नहीं करेगा. And fortunately in the listening module I was able to score 9 bands. But पता है मेरे साथ क्या हुआ था? देखो, listening is a game of focus. And part 1 में, and this is my honest story that I'm telling you, part 1, which is the easiest part in the listening module, वहां पे जो सबसे easy part होता है, जहां पे मैं अपने students को बोलती हूँ कि भाई यहाँ तो 10 में से 10 नंबर ले आना, यहाँ तो एक भी गलत नहीं होना चाहिए. In that first part itself, I missed one answer. मेरे से एक आंसर मिस हो गया था. But I did not leave that blank. I made a guess. मैंने वहां पे guess करके आंसर लिखा था. And I got a band 9. So, and guess आपका logic और grammar के हिसाब से होना चाहिए. So what I'm trying to say is, because there's no negative marking, do not leave a blank. Okay? Okay, Bhavya says it went well. The cue card was about the famous person in the advertisement, and follow-up questions were dependent on advertisements only. And part 1, they just asked the questions about my area. Okay, that sounds very easy. And clothes. Okay, what's that? Tashi. Okay. All right. Is that your name? चलो अभी आगे बढ़ते हैं. All right. Level of difficulty increases as you proceed. इसका क्या मतलब हुआ, guys? Increases as you proceed. इसका मतलब ये हुआ that your part 1 is going to be the easiest part. सबसे easy होगा ये. Part 2, moderate level difficulty. Part 3, अगर आप IELTS के student हो और आप कर चुके हो तो आपको पता है part 3 का level, it's pretty advanced. And in fact, part 4 students ko zyada easy lagta hai as compared to part 3. But yes, you got my point. As you proceed, the level of difficulty increases, right? Now, look quickly. In part 1, you are going to hear a conversation between two people. This conversation can be formal and informal. Informal matlab do friends bhi ho sakte hain usme. And what kind of conversation it is? One person asks a lot of questions and the other poor guy, बेचारा दूसरा आदमी, उसको सारे answers देने पड़ते हैं. The second part is monologue. Monologue is when only one person speaks, a lecture, a talk kind of thing. Part 3 is again a conversation, and this time the conversation is on an academic topic, something related to an assignment, a course, study, presentation, project, that kind of stuff. Part 3 is advanced, and part 4 is once again a monologue. That means a lecture, and that too on an academic topic, right? So that's how it's going to go. If you are a beginner, listen to each and everything that I am covering. These are the basics that you must know. And इसके बाद मैं tips की बात करने वाली हूँ, बहुत अच्छे से सुनना, because वो tips फिर आगे आज जो हम practice करेंगे वहाँ पे आपको बहुत help करेंगी. ठीक है guys, any questions still here? Shall we move ahead? Here we go. Now, the very first thing you need to understand is the language is going to be paraphrased. IELTS exam में तो हर module में paraphrase language की बात होती है. Paraphrase means whether it's speaking, writing, reading, everywhere the language is going to be paraphrased. Paraphrased means whatever you see in the questions written in your exercise, that language will not be spoken in the audio. They will say the same thing, but language will be changed. For example, let's say आपको क्वेश्चन में दिख रहा है ये वर्ड अप्रोप्रिएट. मे बी क्वेश्चन सेज वेयर appropriate dash, and you have to figure out appropriate what. In the audio they'll not use the word appropriate. In the audio they'll use synonym of this word suitable. So that's how they paraphrase the language. Paraphrase means they'll say the same thing, meaning will remain the same, but language will change. That's how the language is paraphrased. In simple terms, आपको जो question में दिख रही है language, वो audio में नहीं होगी. So keep your ears open for synonyms. ठीक है? Moving on, do not exceed the word limit. This is so damn important. See, in part 1, when you get notes completion question, जो हम आज भी करेंगे, it's on the agenda. वहाँ पे क्या होता है? You get blanks. ठीक है? Now, whenever you are given blanks, whether it's the reading module or listening module, चाहे listening हो, चाहे reading हो, अगर blanks आ गए हैं, तो आपको word limit दी जाती है. And if you exceed that word limit, your score is screwed. Let me exemplify. Let's say the word limit is write no more than one word and or a number. Okay, we'll also talk about all caps strategy. I'm writing here so that I don't forget talking about this. Okay, now let's imagine this is the word limit you got. Write no more than one word and or a number. Now, according to this word limit, guys, if you tell me which of these options would be correct. Just one sec. Okay, if I write, let's say John, will that be okay? If I write, oh, something is wrong here. Okay, right. So if I write, let's say John, number 2, 84, number 3, John, 84, number 4, Jack and Jones, and number 5, 1986 and 20. Tell me, we have 5 options on the screen. Out of these 5 options, guys, according to this word limit, what is acceptable, what is correct, and what is just inaccurate? 20th of June will be final IELTS general exam. All the very best, Bhavya. आई गया 20th June तो Cambridge books ज़रूर करना, okay? Take your full length mock tests. Check your answers from the back and do not leave your errors. Errors को जाके analysis ज़रूर करना है उनका. I'm sure you will be able to get your score. And writing module को lightly मत लेना. 1 घंटे में make sure you are finishing task 1 and task 2 both. Okay, now come back here. It says write no more than one word and or a number according to this word limit. ये A और B कहाँ से आ रहा है? The answers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, that's the numericals here. So the correct answers are number 1, John, number 2, 84, number 3, John 84. Fourth and fifth are incorrect, guys. ठीक है, ये दोनों incorrect है. Because why exactly? We are allowed one word. So this is one word, correct. Then we are allowed a number. This is one number, correct. Then it says one word and or a number. And means आप एक word में एक number भी add कर सकते हो, which is why this is also correct, John 84. The remaining are incorrect. Okay, John 84 third is also correct, guys. I hope that made sense. Moving on to the next one, be very, very careful of singular and plural cases. यहाँ पे बहुत silly mistakes होती हैं, बहुत बेकार के number जाते हैं. What do I mean by it? For example, let's say in the audio you heard the word. In the audio, the speaker spoke gardens, but you wrote this word as garden. This will be marked wrong and vice versa. Vice versa means if in the audio, the speaker spoke the word garden, but you wrote it as gardens. This will also be marked wrong. Be very careful about this SES sound. Matlab, just imagine you got 7 band but you could have got 8 band and आप 8 बैंड तक नहीं पहुंच सके बिकॉज ऑफ दिस सिली एरर. तो ये तो बिल्कुल नहीं होना चाहिए और ये बहुत स्टूडेंट्स के साथ होता है. अनदर थिंग इज कि दे आर नॉट ट्राइंग टू कंफ्यूज यू. वो आपको कंफ्यूज करने की कोशिश नहीं कर रहे हैं. दे विल प्रोनाउंस द एस साउंड वेरी क्लियरली. आपको फोकस्ड रहना है. ओके, मूविंग ऑन. Familiarize yourself with different accents. Absolutely, Indian accent नहीं सुनने को मिलेगा आपको listening में. So American accent, British accent, Australian accent. Be very comfortable with foreign accent. Just get that exposure. Watch Netflix, TED Talk, that kind of stuff. And yes, write your answers for the listening module in all caps. ठीक है, इसका भी एक simple सा logic है. लॉजिक ये है कि इफ लेट्स से योर आंसर इज सितंबर, okay, and you are writing September is a proper noun means name. It's the name of a month and names are written with capital initials. बट लिसनिंग में क्या होता है ना, वी हैव टू मल्टीटास्क. हमें वी हैव टू राइट, लिसन एंड रीड द क्वेश्चंस एंड कीप आवर आइज ऑन द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन ऑल्सो. एंड व्हाइल वी आर मल्टीटास्किंग ऐसी गलतियां हो जाती हैं हमसे. वी नो सेप्टेम्बर इज अ प्रॉपर नाउन, इट्स द नेम ऑफ अ मंथ, सो कैपिटल इनिशियल होना चाहिए, एस कैपिटल होना चाहिए. But if we end up writing it with small initial, the answer might be marked wrong, which is why to avoid such errors, write all 40 answers, every single letter like this. Every single letter. In my case, I took the CBT test, computer-based test. मैंने तो caps lock on करके छोड़ दिया था बस. It was very simple. ठीक है, now let's move ahead. Okay, so use the reading time judiciously. You will be given 1 minute to read 10 questions and then the audio will start, and this 1 minute also is going to be divided into 2 chunks of 30 seconds, right? So they announce in the audio, now you have time to read question number 1 to 5, and then they'll give you a pause of 30 seconds. You have to quickly read 5 questions in 30 seconds and then the audio starts. You get your answers and then there's another pause for question number 6 to 10. So this happens till the third part. Part 4 में क्या होता है, guys? What happens in part 4? You are given 1 minute at a stretch. 1 minute at a stretch, so it's not divided in 2 chunks of 30 seconds, right? Let's move ahead. Underline the keywords. We are gonna do this today. So in those 30 seconds, when you're reading the questions, it's very important to underline the right, highlight or underline the right keywords as well as subheadings, because they keep you on track. And somehow, unfortunately, if it happens that you lose your track in the audio, you can come back on track because of those highlighted keywords. What are some good keywords, guys? इसके बारे में मैं बहुत बारी बात कर चुकी हूँ listening classes में. What are considered some good keywords? Your adjectives, adverbs, the numbers, and your proper nouns. प्रॉपर नाउन्स कैन नॉट बी पैराफ्रेज्ड, इनको तो चेंज नहीं कर सकते हैं. September is September. Numbers are also not paraphrased. 10 p.m. is 10 p.m. So these are some good keywords. So it's written over here. Adjectives, adverbs, numbers and proper nouns are some good keywords and they must not be ignored. Be aware that there are going to be distractors. That means they are going to throw extra information at you. Distractors क्या होता है? Extra information. So don't write the first thing that you hear as your answer, because the first option many times is refused. Not always, guys, not always. But what I'm trying to say is understand the entire thing about one question and then decide your answer. Meanwhile, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं जब वो बात करते हैं आपको लगता है कि अच्छा ये आंसर हो सकता है, you write it, but later on if they are changing that answer you cross it out and write the other option. ठीक है, moving on. By the way, distractors, I said extra information to exemplify. Let's say आप notes completion कर रहे हो, which is blank, and वहाँ पे you are hearing for, let's say, a month name. आपको question पढ़ के समझ में आ गया, इसको बोलते हैं prediction. Question पढ़ के आपको समझ में आ गया कि यहाँ पे तो एक month का name आने वाला है. ठीक है, इसको बोलते हैं प्रेडिक्शन की. ऑडियो अभी स्टार्ट नहीं हुई है, आपको क्वेश्चन पढ़ के समझ में आ गया कि यहाँ पे कोई कलर आएगा, यहाँ पे मंथ नेम आएगा, यहाँ पे नंबर आएगा. दैट्स प्रेडिक्शन, दैट्स पॉसिबल. Right, now let's imagine you are listening for a month name. Answer as September. They will not speak only September. They will throw 2 to 3 months name at you. You will have to understand what's the right answer out of those 3 names. I hope that made sense. And there's no negative marking. इसके ऊपर तो मैं अपनी पूरी कहानी सुना चुकी हूँ आप लोगों को, तो this is not something I'm explaining. ठीक है, start करें. Shall we start with the real thing now, guys? Here you go. We are starting with listening part 1. Very simple part, and I'm giving everybody a target. If you are focused, I am really hoping that you guys are sitting with a notebook and pens in your hands. If not, I would want your answers here in the chat box. In fact, keep your notebook and pens aside. Let's have your answers here in the chat box. The moment an answer comes, you post it here. Okay, and then we will see. So your target is to score 10 on 10 here, because this is the easiest part. But by any chance, let's say you are doing listening for the very first time, 10 on 10 नहीं भी आता है, don't beat yourself up. ठीक है, 9 on 10, 2 on 10, 1 on 10 कुछ भी चलेगा, but I want your answers here. But yes, this is the target. Let's have the mental target. Okay, and here we go. So this is what we call as table completion, guys. ठीक है, इस तरह से होता है table completion. You get rows and columns. And your limit is 1 word. देखो, no more than 1 word. This is important. And or a number. This is your word limit. Remember this. No more than 1 word and or a number. Now let's highlight the important information. So we have 4 columns. Number 1 is name of restaurant, the junction. Location is Grayson Street near the station. Reason for recommendation, good for people who are especially keen on dash. Okay, next, other comments, quite expensive. The dash is a good place for a drink. If anybody here is doing listening for the very first time, one thing that I forgot to tell you is that the answers are in sequence. That means after answer number 1, the speaker will not rush or jump to number 5. They will always move to number 2. Okay, so all 40 answers are in sequence. Moving on. Next, name of restaurant is Paloma. In Bow Street, next to the cinema. Dash food. What kind of food? Look for that. Good for sharing. Staff are very friendly. Need to pay £50 deposit. And a limited selection of food on the menu. Then we have the dash. So here you need to understand the name of the restaurant, and whenever any name comes in part 1, of course English name hoga, they will spell it out letter by letter. You have to grab the correct spellings. If one letter goes here and there, that answer will be marked wrong. Okay? So be careful here. Next one, at the top of a dash, you need to see top of what. अब यहाँ पर ना grammar also matters, guys. ग्रामर मैटर्स. आई नो आप आगे पढ़ रहे हो, पर प्लीज जरा ये भी समझ लो. if you are getting blanks, ठीक है, whatever you are writing in those blanks should fit in grammatically. If that word is not fitting in grammatically, that's not your answer. What am I trying to say here? Look, it says at the top of a dash. Can I say at the top of a buildings? I want a yes or no. अगर मैंने यहाँ पे लिख दिया buildings, will this be correct or incorrect, guys? I want an answer to this one. बताओ बताओ. What do you think? What do you think? Top of buildings? Absolutely. This will be incorrect. Why incorrect? Because it's not fitting in grammatically. What's the problem here? Just before the blank, we have a. And when we have either a or an, we only can take a singular countable noun, and this is plural. Hence, the answer will be incorrect. That means grammar के through भी आपको समझ आता है बहुत बारी कि यहाँ पे कुछ plural आएगा या singular आएगा. ठीक है? So that's another thing you need to keep in mind. Right. Okay. Moving on now. वैसे तो आपने आगे पढ़ ही लिया होगा, I'm sure, but let's highlight. So it says a famous chef, all the dash are very good, only uses dash ingredients. And then it says set lunch cost. Okay, now the moment you get a currency symbol, you can predict that now a number is going to come in the answer. So what per person? Look for that number firstly. Secondly, because the currency symbol is already here, तो लेट्स से अगर वो 10 है, लेट्स से अगर वो नंबर 10 है, ठीक है, बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स क्या करते हैं, दे राइट देयर आंसर लाइक दिस, 10 pounds. Will this be correct? If I write my answer like this for question number 9, will this be correct? Yes or no? This will be incorrect. आपको करेंसी नहीं लिखनी है क्योंकि यहाँ पे करेंसी सिंबल ऑलरेडी है. As simple as that. Currency symbol nahi hai, then it's a different story. But currency symbol hai, so we will not write pounds separately. So keep understanding these small little details, okay? And then the last one says, okay, portions probably of dash size. You need to see what is the size of portions in this particular restaurant, right? So now I am starting with the audio and I am expecting your answers here in the chat box. I know you are all going to ace it. You are my diligent students. Here we go.
Sheet. Now turn to part 1. Part 1. You will hear a woman asking a friend for restaurant recommendations. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 4.
Guys, is it audible? Let me know in the chat box. Is it audible?
Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 4.
I've been meaning to ask you for some advice about restaurants. I need to book somewhere to celebrate my sister's 30th birthday, and I liked the sound of that place you went to for your mum's 50th.
The Junction? Yeah, I'd definitely recommend that for a special occasion. We had a great time there. Everyone really enjoyed it.
Where is it again? I can't remember.
It's on Grayson Street, only about a 2-minute walk from the station.
Oh, that's good. I'd prefer not to have to drive anywhere. But I don't want to have to walk too far either.
Yes, the location's perfect. But that's not necessarily why I'd recommend it. The food's amazing. If you like fish, it's probably the best restaurant in town for that. It's always really fresh, and there are lots of interesting dishes to choose from. But all the food is good there.
Is it really expensive?
It's certainly not cheap, but for a special occasion, I think it's fine. It's got a great atmosphere, and before dinner, you can go up on the roof and have a drink. It's really nice up there, but you need to book. It's very popular as the views are spectacular.
Sounds good. So that's definitely a possibility then. Is there anywhere else you can think of?
If you want somewhere a bit less formal, then you could try Paloma.
Where's that? I haven't heard of it.
No, it's quite new. It's only been open a few months, but it's got a great reputation already. It's in a really beautiful old building on Bow Street.
Oh, I think I know where you mean. Right beside the cinema.
Yes, that's it. I've only been there a couple of times, but I was really impressed. The chef used to work at Don Felipe's, apparently. I was really sorry when that closed down.
So is all the food they serve Spanish then?
Yeah, you can get lots of small dishes to share, which always works really well if you're in a group.
Worth thinking about.
Yeah, there's a lively atmosphere, and the waiters are really friendly. The only thing is that you need to pay a £50 deposit to book a table.
A lot of restaurants are doing that these days. I should have a look at the menu to check there's a good choice of vegetarian dishes. A couple of my friends have stopped eating meat.
Not sure. I'd say the selection of those would be quite limited.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 5 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 5 to 10.
I've just thought of another idea. Have you been to the Audley?
No, don't think I've heard of it. How's it spelt?
Audley. You must have heard of it. There's been a lot about it in the press.
I don't tend to pay much attention to that kind of thing. So, where is it exactly?
It's in that hotel near Baxter Bridge, on the top floor.
Oh, the views would be incredible from up there.
Yeah, I'd love to go. I can't think of the chef's name, but she was a judge on that TV cookery show recently. And she's written a couple of cookery books.
Oh, Angela Frayne.
That's the one. Anyway, it's had excellent reviews from all the newspapers.
That would be a memorable place for a celebration.
Definitely. Obviously, it's worth going there just for the view, but the food is supposed to be really special.
She only likes cooking with local products, doesn't she?
Yes. Everything at the restaurant has to be sourced within a short distance, and absolutely nothing flown in from abroad.
I imagine it's really expensive, though.
Well, you could go for the set lunch. That's quite reasonable for a top-class restaurant. £30 a head. In the evening, I think it'd be more like £50.
At least that, I should think. But I'm sure everyone would enjoy it. It's not the kind of place you leave feeling hungry, though, is it? With tiny portions.
No, the reviews I've read didn't mention that. I imagine they'd be average.
Well, that's all great. Thanks.
That is the end of part 1. You now have 1 minute to check your answers to part 1.
Okay, guys, I'm Seeing very few answers in the chat box. Let me see your answers quickly and then we'll discuss and we'll see how many you have scored correct. So please post your answers, everybody. Jitne bhi answers mile, even if it's a single one, please post. As for the low voice, Anuj, yeah, you said you are a beginner. That means you are starting with the IELTS preparation. So I always give this heads up, which I didn't give today, my bad. For listening module, to be able to give a good performance, it's always recommended to have some headphones or earphones on. And on the day of exam also, you are given headphones. So whenever you are practicing, you are taking sessions, it's always recommended for the listening module to sit in a quiet place where nobody is disturbing you and your headphones on. So that's recommended for listening. Okay? So no worries. We have one more exercise. We have 10 more questions of the second part, which we'll be diving deep into very quickly. And before we do that, get your headphones if you do not have them already right now plugged in. Okay? Right. So Bhavya has posted her answers. Number one is fish. Second is roof, Spanish, vegetarian. It's Audley, Audley. So you have written OUD. Okay, so here spellings are goofed up, Bhavya. These are the spellings, Audley, Audley. And then we have sixth you missed. Okay, sixth is hotel, at the top of a hotel. पार्ट वन में भी बहुत स्मार्ट प्ले करने लग गए हैं ये लोग. सिक्स्थ इज वन ऑफ द आंसर्स इन दिस एक्सरसाइज विच अ लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स मिस हियर. अब देखो सेवेंथ में देखो भव्या कौन सा एरर हो रहा है. लुक, ऑल द रिव्यू होगा या ऑल द रिव्यूज होगा? यू टेल मी, बताओ. विद ऑल वी विल टेक अ सिंगुलर नाउन और प्लूरल नाउन? प्लूरल, राइट. सो यहाँ पे एस की वजह से मार्क दिस रॉन्ग. बी स्ट्रिक्ट विद योर सेल्फ. यू नो व्हाट स्टूडेंट्स क्या सोचते हैं? स्टूडेंट्स इस तरह से सोचते हैं कि ठीक है सिर्फ प्रैक्टिस के टाइम पे ये मेंटालिटी है स्टूडेंट्स की. उनको लगता है कि ठीक है सिर्फ एक एस तो मिस हुआ है, इसको करेक्ट मार्क कर देते हैं. एंड बिकॉज आप ऐसी मिस्टेक्स इग्नोर करते हो, आपको सीरियसनेस नहीं पता चलती है कि कितना बड़ा इम्पैक्ट है इन मिस्टेक्स का आपके स्कोर के ऊपर. सो फ्रॉम डे वन ऑफ योर प्रैक्टिस बी स्ट्रिक्ट विद योर सेल्फ. Okay. Next one only uses local ingredients. How many of you got this right? Let me see. Yes, Bhavya got this local. Kukri. Okay, Devashish says kukri for number 8. No. Kukri is not the answer. Number 9th, you are saying 50. Well, no, that's not 50. It's 30. Right? For number 9, if you have written 30 like this will also be acceptable. If you have written the number in word forms like this will also be acceptable. It's 30. And the last one is average. Absolutely. Average. Okay. Let's write these ones also. Number 1 is fish. Number 2, the dash is a good place for a drink. Roof. And number 3, dash food, good for sharing. Spanish. And number 4 is vegetarian. Tell me your score now, everybody. In the chat box, out of 10, how many did you get right? And if you screwed, I am saying don't beat yourself up. Sub screw karte hain listening when they are doing it for the first time. I did that too. But just let me see your scores. Yes, Bhavya, absolutely. We have to be honest and strict with ourselves when we are taking mock tests. Bhavya, I think you scored 7, no? Yeah, you scored 7 out of 10. What about the rest of you? Chalo, while you are posting your answers, I mean your scores, let's proceed and let's move to the second part. It's okay, Anuj. You yourself said you are a beginner. Probably आप listening first time कर रहे हो. And जब मैंने first time करी थी years back, मेरा भी यही हाल था. So don't worry at all, okay? Shall we proceed to part 2? Yeah. 2 out of 10. देखो अगर ऐसे scores आप बता रहे हो 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10, in that case एक ही बारी पूछूंगी और मुझे आंसर दे देना इसका. Do you want me to repeat this audio along with answers? Yes or no? Do you want me to repeat this audio along with answers? If I'm not getting a single yes, I'm moving ahead. Okay, fine. Here you go. पहले ही बोल देते, मेरे पूछने की वेट क्यों कर रहे थे? Alright, so here you go, guys. Please जरा focus के साथ सुनना. Session थोड़ा सा लेंदी हो रहा है आज का, but that's perfectly okay. Everybody, get your headphones on, okay? Here you go.
Part 1. You will hear a woman asking a friend for restaurant recommendations. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 4. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 4.
I've been meaning to ask you for some advice about restaurants. I need to book somewhere to celebrate my sister's 30th birthday, and I liked the sound of that place you went to for your mum's 50th.
The Junction. Yeah, I'd definitely recommend that for a special occasion. We had a great time there. Everyone really enjoyed it.
Where is it again? I can't remember.
It's on Grayson Street, only about a 2-minute walk from the station.
Oh, that's good. I'd prefer not to have to drive anywhere, but I don't want to have to walk too far either.
Yes, the location's perfect, but that's not necessarily why I'd recommend it. The food's amazing. If you like fish, it's probably the best restaurant in town for that. It's always really fresh, and there are lots of interesting dishes to choose from. But all the food is good there.
Is it really expensive?
It's certainly not cheap, but for a special occasion, I think it's fine. It's got a great atmosphere, and before dinner, you can go up on the roof and have a drink. It's really nice up there, but you need to book. It's very popular as the views are spectacular.
Sounds good. So that's definitely a possibility then. Is there anywhere else you can think of?
If you want somewhere a bit less formal, then you could try Paloma.
Where's that? I haven't heard of it.
No, it's quite new. It's only been open a few months, but it's got a great reputation already. It's in a really beautiful old building on Bow Street.
Oh, I think I know where you mean. Right beside the cinema.
Yes, that's it. I've only been there a couple of times, but I was really impressed. The chef used to work at Don Felipe's, apparently. I was really sorry when that closed down.
So is all the food they serve Spanish then?
Yeah, you can get lots of small dishes to share, which always works really well if you're in a group.
Worth thinking about.
Yeah, there's a lively atmosphere, and the waiters are really friendly. The only thing is that you need to pay a £50 deposit to book a table.
A lot of restaurants are doing that these days. I should have a look at the menu to check there's a good choice of vegetarian dishes. A couple of my friends have stopped eating meat.
Not sure. I'd say the selection of those would be quite limited.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 5 to 10. Now listen and answer questions 5 to 10.
I've just thought of another idea. Have you been to the Audley?
No, don't think I've heard of it. How's it spelt?
Audley. You must have heard of it. There's been a lot about it in the press.
I don't tend to pay much attention to that kind of thing. So, where is it exactly?
It's in that hotel near Baxter Bridge, on the top floor.
Oh, the views would be incredible from up there.
Yeah, I'd love to go. I can't think of the chef's name, but she was a judge on that TV cookery show recently. And she's written a couple of cookery books.
Oh, Angela Frayne.
That's the one. Anyway, it's had excellent reviews from all the newspapers.
That would be a memorable place for a celebration.
Definitely. Obviously, it's worth going there just for the view, but the food is supposed to be really special.
She only likes cooking with local products, doesn't she?
Yes. Everything at the restaurant has to be sourced within a short distance, and absolutely nothing flown in from abroad.
I imagine it's really expensive, though.
Well, you could go for the set lunch. That's quite reasonable for a top-class restaurant. £30 a head. In the evening, I think it'd be more like £50.
At least that, I should think. But I'm sure everyone would enjoy it. It's not the kind of place you leave feeling hungry, though, is it? With tiny portions.
No, the reviews I've read didn't mention that. I imagine they'd be average.
Well, that's all great. Thanks so
I hope it was clear this time, guys. Was it? Abhi samajh mein aaya? All right. As for the 50 here, somebody had written 50. That was the distractor, right? If you see, the question is about lunch. That 50 was about the evening meal. And that's how they throw distractors at you. ऐसे confuse किया जाता है आपको. ठीक है, चलो, let's proceed. I'm so glad that it's making sense. And now, here are the answers which we have already covered. And here we have our listening part 2. We are starting with MCQs, guys. And whenever you get MCQs in listening and reading module, you are supposed to write the letters, okay? Letters A, B, C, जो भी correct option है. Other than letter, if you are writing anything else, that will be marked wrong. So be very careful, okay? Now let's move ahead, and here you go. Let's read the MCQs together and let's highlight the questions and keywords. So question 11 says, Heather, it's a name. Heather says, pottery differs from other art forms because reason number 1, A, it lasts longer in the ground. B, it is practiced by more people. C, it can be repaired more easily. Next question, archaeologists sometimes identify the use of ancient pottery from the clay it was made with, the marks that are on it, the basic shape of it. Number 13, some people join Heather's pottery class because they want to what? Create an item that looks very old. B, find something that they are good at. C, make something that will outlive them. Interesting. 14th question, what does Heather value most about being a potter? A, its calming effect. B, its messy nature. C, its physical benefits. Next question, most of the visitors to Edelman Pottery bring friends to join courses, have never made a pot before, try to learn techniques too quickly. Next question, Heather reminds her visitors that they should what? A, put on their aprons, change their clothes, take off their jewelry. Just a sec. Right. Okay, now once we are done with these 6 MCQs, there's going to be a 30-second pause in which I will change the slide and anybody who wants to do masters from abroad. Okay, अच्छा आप लोगों की आपस में बातें चल रही हैं, ठीक है, cool. Questions पढ़ लो guys, तभी तो answers मिलेंगे. चलो, yeah, I was saying once we are done with these 6 MCQs, there will be a 30-second pause in which I will change the slide and we will come to these 4 questions, 17 till 20. We call them list selection. They are very similar to MCQs. Let's take a look at them. So देखो MCQs में क्या हो रहा है, you have to select one answer from a list of 3 options. यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, you have to select 2 correct answers from a list of 5 options. पहले questions पढ़ लेते हैं. So for 17th and 18th it says, which 2 things does Heather explain about kilns? Okay. A, what their function is, when they were invented, ways of keeping them safe, where to put one in your home, what some people use instead of one. That means instead of kiln. Next 2 questions, 19 and 20. Which 2 points does Heather make about a potter's tools? Okay, A, some are hard to hold. B, some are worth buying. C, some are essential items. D, some have memorable names. And E, some are available for use by participants. I'll give you one quick tip here. Sometimes in these kind of questions, you are not able to figure out the correct option, but you are able to figure out the incorrect option. कि इसको तो refuse कर दिया गया था, तो ये तो है ही नहीं. So if you are able to figure out the incorrect options, you can eliminate them and zero in on the correct options. तो सिर्फ कान अपने correct answers के लिए नहीं खोल के रखने हैं. Incorrect answers भी अगर समझ में आ गए ना कि ये तो refuse करा गया है, that will also make your life simple. ठीक है. Now let's play the audio. अच्छा, another thing about the answers for this question type, 19 and 17 and 18. Let's imagine, तो आपको 2 answers select करने हैं, right, from this list. Let's imagine your answers are C and D. For the sake of example, I'm saying, if you write C and D like that, that will also be acceptable. If you write D and C like this, that will also be acceptable. So the order does not matter in this question type. Right? Now I'm playing the audio, guys. Be super duper focused. Here you go.
Visiting a pottery, a place where people make pots and other objects from clay. Part 2. You will hear a potter, Heather McCallum, speaking to a group of people who are visiting a pottery, a place where people make pots and other objects from clay. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 16.
Hello and welcome. My name's Heather McCallum, and I'm one of the potters who work here at Edelman Pottery. Before we go into the workshop, I just want to say a bit about the craft of pottery. Then we'll have a look at the equipment, and you can try making a pot of your own. Like many people, I'm sure you know that pottery as an art form is tens of thousands of years old. And we know this because it stands the test of time. Things like baskets and pictures don't survive in the earth in the same way that pots do. And even if ancient pots are found in small pieces, they still provide a lot of information about the past. There's no doubt that pottery has given archaeologists a fascinating insight into how ancient humans lived. The shape of an artifact may have been lost, but archaeologists can tell whether the pots were for, say, storage or cooking by examining the impressions on the clay, the scratches from tools, and the clay itself can reveal where the pots came from. When I ask people why they want to take a pottery class with me, they sometimes talk about these things. Like our ancestors, they hope that something they create will also last longer than they do, that their work, whether it is good or not, might say something about humanity many years after their death. Of course, you will all have your own reasons for coming here. As far as I'm concerned, what I love most is the concentration you need to make a good pot. That focus takes you away from the stresses of everyday life. If you're elderly, it's also good exercise for hands and wrists and helps with arthritis. And of course, it's a fun activity for children because it's so messy. Here at Edelman Pottery, we show you some of the basic pottery techniques so that you can use these to create whatever you wish. A gift for a friend, perhaps. Like nearly everyone who comes here, I'm sure this is the first time you will have tried the art. So we'll keep things simple today. Now, before we move on, can I just say a word about what you're wearing? As we said in our email, please remove any watches, necklaces, etc., and put them somewhere safe. If you have long hair, do tie it back now. We'll provide aprons later, but I trust your clothes are old but comfortable, not your favorite t-shirt or jeans.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 17 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 17 to 20.
So now we're in the workshop. Have a look around. There's a lot going on. To make pottery that will last, you need a potter's wheel, a kiln, which is basically a very hot oven where you fire the pottery, and some tools. So first, the kiln. If you look over in the far corner, you'll see one of ours. Since their invention, kilns have changed very little, though in the past 20 years, a lot of progress has been made in temperature control. Basically, a kiln removes the water from clay at temperatures of around 1,000 degrees Celsius. This allows anything you've made to set permanently in shape. It's a pretty ugly, heavy object that's hard to keep in a house or flat, so most people don't have one. You may think, can't I use my oven? Well, that's possible, but domestic ovens don't really get hot enough, and eventually the clay will crack and fall apart. Some people fire pottery in a fire pit outside, but bear in mind that can be dangerous. You also need to know about safety procedures for kilns, as they release toxic compounds into the air. Every potter needs a potter's wheel. This machine is used to shape the clay into an object with circular walls or sides, such as a bowl. Its invention revolutionized the pottery industry, allowing multiple items to be produced in a day. Lastly, There are a number of different tools that potters use, depending on what they want to make. When you start, your hands can make all kinds of shapes and curves without relying on a sculpting tool. However, there are some basic tools that you will need to handle the clay on the wheel. Some look very strange and have even odder names that you may find hard to remember. Rather than go through them all now, I'll just name a few tools as we go along. We can provide these, and I wouldn't recommend spending money on them yet. So, let's try making a pot of your own. If you sit down.
All right, guys, how was it? Easy, moderate, or difficult? Let's quickly check your answers, like real quick. And here we go. Okay, so it's A, this one is B, this one is C. This one is again A, calming effect. She did talk about messy, but that's how they confuse you. This was mentioned with regards to children, but the question is about Heather. And B here, have never made a pot before. And C here, she clearly talked about taking off watches or any jewelry, that kind of stuff. Right, so Bhavya says A, B, C, A, C. One incorrect in these 6, Bhavya. B is the right answer for 15th. And then you are saying A and C. All right, it's not A and C, I guess. One sec. Okay, A and E. Ways of keeping them safe. Well, she did mention the word safety, that you have to understand the safety procedure, but she did not talk about any ways. That was just a distractor thrown at you by using this word safety. The right answers are A and E. And here the right answers are C and E. So Bhavya, 8 out of 10, I guess. That's a great score. And what about the rest of you? These are the correct answers. Let me know your score in the chat box. And with that, it's a wrap, guys. I'll see you in the next lecture. I am really hoping that this session was helpful to you. And take care. I'll see you next week very soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.